Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Olivia. This probably isn't like the first video you want to watch of mine if you're a brand new viewer, or you know what, maybe it is, I don't know. But I just kind of wanted to do a chatty, rambly life update, how I've been feeling kind of video. Not that I owe it to anyone or anyone asked at all, but I don't know. I think it could be helpful for some people, just trying to navigate life as like a young adult. It's also like a little bit therapeutic for me, but I just wanted to talk about like how I've been feeling about school, about life, about, I don't know, what else is there? But I saw one of my, I don't know if I would call us friends, but like, I think we know who each other is on YouTube. Her name's Carter Sullivan. She did a video kind of about realizing that your dream job wasn't your dream job anymore. And I was like definitely having those feelings even before she was posting that video. But I just liked, and I was going to try to do like a life update kind of thing, like talking about how I've been feeling, but then I had that thought like, who cares literally at all? And like no one has to care, you know? It can just be you and your loyal audience thing. So where do I even start? If you don't know me at all, my name's Olivia. I live in St. Louis, Missouri right now. I'm 25. I almost forgot for a second. I'm 25. I am a chiropractic student. So I am a little under 2 years away from graduating with my Doctor of Chiropractic degree. I also like wrote some stuff down on my iPad just so I don't ramble, but I know I'm gonna do it anyway. So I guess we'll start off like kind of backstory for those of you who don't know. But I decided that I wanted to be a chiropractor probably when I was like 14 or 15 years old, which is like, it's like pretty young. I don't know. I think it's pretty young. So I knew I wanted to be a chiropractor like early on in high school, and that was kind of like my plan my whole way through high school and pretty much the entire way through college until I was first semester senior. You know, perfect time to like change your mind about what you want to do with your life. I did take a gap year. So this was, my gap year was essentially like the beginning of COVID, I think. Yeah, because I graduated college spring of 2019. And then I took a gap year and moved here for my first year of chiropractic school, September of 2020. But I took a gap year and I coached gymnastics pretty much full-time. I say like full-time in quotes because I didn't work 40 hours a week, but that's like what I did. That was my job. And I did that for a whole year, 6 to 7 days a week. And I really loved it. I had been coaching since I was 16. And that's the only job that I've ever had. And I still coach to this day, so that's like part of my identity, I feel like. But now I'm in school and it's been a little rocky. I'm doing fine in my classes. And I had touched on that like briefly in a couple of vlogs maybe, and I'll link them or like put them up here if you're like interested in seeing that. But I just talked about how I was frustrated with my future profession as a whole, and it's not what I wanted to do, and I was confused and frustrated and whatever. And I think part of me was really just frustrated with the lack of freedom that I was experiencing in comparison to the investment I was putting in. Like chiropractic school, grad school in general, but like chiropractic school is just like stupid. It's stupid expensive. And it's similar to like a med school where you're not like working full-time and then like taking classes part-time. I'm sure some people do, but like for me and my friends, most people don't do that. So this is like what you do. This is your job. But I was really, again, frustrated with just like, I'm giving so much of my time, They really pack the credit hours in. I'm sure some of you have seen my vlogs where I'm just talking about how many credit hours I take. My highest credit hour trimester, which is the same thing as a semester, my highest credit hours was 32 and a half. Like, that's stupid. Like, I lived it and I still can't fathom it. So much time, money, and like emotional energy and just mental energy. And it is such a great large investment for something that I was just like, I am not in love with this. And that was like the really terrifying part. And honestly, it still is, I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten over like the initial like spiraling, I'm going to drop out and like I don't know what I want to do with my life. Some days it's, you know, still there a little bit. I feel a little bit more stable now, a little bit. And I know part of this is just coming from where I'm at in my life right now. Like, I'm in chiropractic school. The people that I surround myself with on a daily basis are also in chiropractic school doing the exact same thing as me. And that's just like really, I don't like it. The people I go to school with are fantastic and like no issue with them. That's fine. But just being around people who are doing the exact same thing as you day in, day out. Of course, there's like, you know, little tiny differences, but like in a general sense, like they're same thing. That's it. It's exhausting. But I was just thinking the other day about how a lot of my peers, I perceive them to be like super in to what they're doing, like super into healthcare, chiropractic, holistic medicine, whatever. And I just am not. I am, but not, it feels like to the level that someone else is, like some of my peers. And I don't know, that's just like kind of scary for me because they're spending all this money, just as much money as I am, and they're really like going hard in on one thing. And like that makes sense because they're spending all this time, money, whatever, to do this one thing, get this one degree, and they're like being the best at it they can be at putting so much of their energy into that. And I just like I don't feel like it, honestly. I feel like I have so, and not that other people don't. Again, this is like my perception and like my bias and whatever. But I feel like I have so many other things about me that I find interesting and so many other talents that I have. And I don't know, do I have to be one thing, you know? Like I mentioned, I decided I wanted to be a chiropractor when I was like 14, 15, 16 years old. Like, should I trust my 15-year-old self about what I want to do for the rest of my life? That's a hard ask. That's a really hard ask. I was talking to my sister and one of my friends about this, but I was just speaking to them about like the negative effects of like groupthink and being in that bubble. And like I mentioned, just like so many people around me like going really hard for this one thing. And I feel, how do I feel? Like I'm wasting my time and money kind of getting this degree and not putting everything I have into it. It feels a little bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. But then also there's like the part of it that's, I'm trying to be a doctor, like that's what I'm going to school for. And so it's not like, of course, every job impacts people and every person has their place and whatever. But like, for me, it feels like if I don't put everything into this and learn as much as I can and spend money on like different seminars and courses and certifications and study X amount of hours every night and blah, 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 whatever, like that will directly affect people's health and wellness down the line if I'm not making sure I'm the best doctor I can be by putting my energy completely into this. And so that feels like harmful to people. And I'm a type 2 Enneagram. If anyone knows anything about that, I'm a type 2 Enneagram. That means I'm the helper. And I literally have it tattooed on my wrist. So like I don't like that feeling of, I don't know, feeling like someone's well-being will be compromised because of me. I don't think anyone likes that feeling, but like it's really hard for me. But I'm also like not, I don't feel like doing anything about it because it's just not what I'm in love with. But like I said, I was talking to my sister and telling her how I was feeling about just like big group think and everyone kind of being in the same boat and big picture doing the exact same stuff. And that's all to me that they appear to be doing. Of course, like, people do other things. I'm not saying they don't. And I was telling her, I feel like, not to say like, oh my God, I have so much going for me, but like, I have a bunch of different things that I like to do. Like, I'm a student, I'm a chiropractic student, and I do like that. And there is like still a part of me that wants to do that. I obviously do social media, YouTube, like that brings me so much joy. I love being creative. I love connecting with people like in that way. There's not a lot I don't love about this. So that's another thing. I'm also a gymnastics coach. I've done that again, like I said, since I was 16. And so I'm really good at that and I really love doing that. So I have like all of these different things about me that I want to pursue in some regard, and I am right now, I guess. Like, obviously I'm filming this YouTube video, I have a lesson that I have to coach tonight, and I have class that I have to get back to in like 3 hours. So I'm like actively doing all of these things, and I do like that. This is so rambly, I'm sorry. I have these notes and none of it's being followed. As a society, we've been trained to, not trained, but just like conditioned. That's the same word. I don't, whatever. But I just feel like we are automatically pigeonholed and encouraged to like niche down our selves. Yeah, to just like be this one thing in order to be perceived as more valuable. I don't know, because like my sister, for example, the exact same sister I was having this conversation with, she is the kind of person that does like a little bit of everything. Like, she went to beauty school for a while, and then she was a painter, like painting houses, and then for a hot second she wanted to like be a pastor, I think, and then she was also a barista. Like, she does like all of these different things, and she's like fantastic. But people ask her what she does, and she like has all these things to say, and everyone's confused, and they're just kind of like, oh, like, why can't you just be, I don't know, a sales associate or something like that. I don't necessarily know if I have advice for anyone, because like I'm still in it myself, but I just know for sure that like this isn't what I want to do with the rest of my life, just be a chiropractor. And if that is your vibe, go with it. That's your vibe. I love that for you. But, and it is scary to know that like this thing that I had like built up in my head for so long since I was 14 years old is, I'm like falling out of love with. That sounds like very dramatic, but whatever. But I just know that, why do I feel like I'm going to cry? This is not, see, like I said, it's like therapeutic. But I just know that even though I'm spending so much money on this degree and I'm going to be a chiropractor, I don't know why I put that in quotes, like I'm going to be a chiropractor, that it's not the most important thing that I'm going to do with my life. Ideally, I do not want to be a chiropractor full time. I would love more than anything to do a little bit of like what I'm doing right now and practice full time, like practice as a doctor full time. Exactly what I didn't want to say. Ideally, I would love to like practice as a chiropractor part-time, coach 1 day a week at wherever I end up in life, and then do social media like influencing part-time. Like, that sounds really cool. But then I get on this other thing that I'm like, I'm already 25 and that feels really old to me for some reason. Probably because when I was in high school, I thought that I was gonna be like married by the time I was 22, and like I don't know, like the time passes anyway, so you might as well like do what you want to do, you know? But I just get so in my head about, I feel so old like my boyfriend and I were talking, he was here this past weekend, and we're just talking about like, future stuff, whatever. And I was like, I'm not going to graduate till I'm 27. And that feels like it's basically 30 years old if I round up. But I just feel like I don't have time for a lot of stuff. And I think it's because so much of what is put in front of us is like people who have instant success. I hear people talk all the time about how your 20s is your time to find yourself and like do a bunch of things and try a bunch of things. But I just feel scary when you invest so much of something into one thing. It feels like it's selfish or irresponsible to do other things in conjunction with that. I would like to kind of talk to you guys like in the comment section or something, because even though I do feel isolated in where I'm at right now, because like I said, everyone seems to be doing really well and like doing the same thing except for me, and I know I'm like no different than other people. So if you would like to just kind of share your experience in the comments, how you've been feeling, whatever. Because even though I think it's becoming more mainstream for people to not just do one thing, it's still, like I've said a million times in this video, it still just feels like a little bit scary. So if we want to have a little discussion in the comments, that would be sick. Ultimately, I just want other people to feel seen and heard. So that's kind of why I'm doing this video. Thank you for watching. Again, comment below how you're doing. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already.